And hello everyone, welcome out here to Woodland Park. My name's John Dale, and I'll be bringing you live action of the semifinal match in the US Amateur Matchplay Championships between Grant Kelley and Dustin Nelson. They'll be teeing off here in just a few minutes, so stay tuned and we'll take you to the live action in just a minute. All right, here we are at the hole 1 tee. Dustin Nelson and Grant Kelley. They were just waiting on Ben Kelley and Clint Wright to finish hole 1. And now we're ready to go. I'm joined here by Darius Turrentine. Darius, it's nice to be out here for another round of disc golf, isn't it?
It is. You know, we got to watch those competitors tee off, and looks like they're already off to a crazy start, so let's see what we can get here.
All right, Dustin Nelson with the tee, hole 1. And he had just a low, strong drive, but it was breaking out to the left toward the end there.
That's good for him.
All right, Grant Kelley now with his tee shot, hole 1. cuts cleanly through, turning over a little bit to the right side of the fairway, but it's coming back toward the center now as it crashes. So I think that was a relatively good start to the hole. Especially we saw the other group tee off, and it was a little bit different.
It was, that's yeah. When you throw 2 shots and you barely get 100 feet off the tee, that's never a good way to start, whether you're playing match play or stroke play. But both these guys threw good, safe drives right out there in the middle, and really put himself in a good position. We've seen it so many rounds so far, John, where a 3 is a point on this hole. So
yep, basically you get a 3 and you're probably winning the hole up so far.
That's what we've seen on pretty much every match we've broadcasted thus far. But needless to say, both these players, they've been playing really good this entire tournament. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 2 threes here by these players.
Yeah, I was really excited when I saw that this was going to be the matchup in the semifinals.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we got the 4 best players, John. That's what it boiled down to. These 4 players have been hot. This is probably one of the best semifinals we've had since we started this match play bracket here in Columbia.
And not only do we have 4 excellent players today, but we also have excellent weather. Temperature in the mid-70s and just a slight chance of rain between now and 7 p.m. So here's Dustin Nelson now with his second shot, hole 1. And it turned over a little bit, it hit that tree. So
yep,
he's going to have probably a straddle stance around that tree to try to get a look at the basket. All right, so Grant Kelley is now going to try to go find his disc. And he was probably, I feel like he had more distance on the shot, but
yeah, he's
maybe a little offline.
He's definitely
where
right.
He wanted to be.
But he has better footing as well, with him being the bottom of the hill where it starts to flatten out.
All right, so Grant Kelley now second shot, hole 1. He just goes with a nice forehand approach, and he also hits the tree, but look at that. It rolls out safely into the middle.
This
10
is
feet or less to the basket.
This is one of those holes where when you get your upshot, you got 1 tree to miss, and as you can see how hard it is to miss that 1 tree. Both players had great drives and both found that tree. Now Grant, like I said, he got a good kick and roll off that tree, so he'll definitely have a better putt.
Yeah, I'd say Dustin Nelson.
He'll actually be a little bit closer as well.
Definitely seems to have a little more of a challenge here with this putt. So here's Dustin Nelson now with his third shot, hole 1.
Gave that tree $20.
And it's in. So Dustin Nelson with the necessary 3. And Grant Kelley now to try to get a 3 and push the hole. And it's in. So both players with a 3. An excellent start to this match. We're all square. Heading to 2. We'll see you there in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we're back hole 2, 275-foot par 3 up the hill, road to the right side of bounds. Nelson has the tee. And it looked like it came out a little early and low.
Yeah, he did not like that. He'd like to have that disc back.
But he is safe in the fairway, so now Grant Kelley with his tee shot, hole 2. And he got some good power, but it's also going to be a little left. Looks like it might have skipped up where he'll have a clean look at the basket from about 20 out.
Yeah.
Hard to tell from here.
Yeah, it looks like, I think he got just past that tree, so he should have a pretty nice putt. I believe he released the disc a little early as well.
Yeah, both of them ended up left, but you know, honestly, I think you'd rather be left on this fairway than right and out of bounds. Because unless you're right next to the basket, you're probably looking at losing this hole.
Yeah, definitely comes into play on this hole.
I think Grant's at least going to have a real shot at birdie here.
Yeah, I agree. You know, from what we've seen with Dustin, he's a player you gotta take advantage of every opportunity, because he has not made very many mistakes in this match play bracket.
Very true. All right, so Nelson now with his second shot, hole 2. And he throws it up safely within 5
Directly
feet of the basket.
underneath the basket.
So Grant Kelley now opportunity to take the lead early in this match, but it's not going to be an easy putt.
He still has a little bit of meat left on this putt.
All right, Kelley now, second shot, hole 2. And nose down just at the last second for him and hits the top of the cage. So they're both going to tap out with another 3. And hole 2 is a push. We're all square through 2. We'll be at hole 3 in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we're back hole 3, 560 feet up the hill to the basket. Match is still all square. Nelson has the tee.
Both players just amped up on some hydration. This is a bomb of a hole. Plays every bit of 1,000 feet uphill.
Yeah, so they're going to need every
You can see Dustin here getting some warm up in for this hike he's about to take.
Well, big backhand shot, right side of the fairway. It's flying out of bounds, but comes just back in.
That's at least halfway there, John. That was a good shot.
And big arms have a decided advantage on this hole. So Grant Kelley now, tee shot, hole 3. And he's going low and on the left side, but it's safely in. He didn't drake the shot.
Didn't drake it, didn't lose a disc. He didn't get as much distance as what he probably would have wanted, but he should have a really solid approach there to the basket from there. And honestly, he may be in a little better spot depending on the footing that Dustin has. You know, when you get to the right side of the fairway here, closer to the road, which You know, he hung it out over the road. The footing with a ditch over there and drainage sometimes gets a little weak for your approach shot. So
it is worth noting we've had quite a bit of rain over the last few days, and the grass is just very slightly kind of low friction, a little bit slippery today.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, some of those areas like those ditches, and you know, you'll run into more on the slope of 7 or, you know, the ditch of 8. You know, that's going to come into play for these players today on both cards.
All right, so Grant Kelley, we know he's in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just going to have to negotiate that. The middle route through the trees there's a low ceiling with that branch, but he also has a strong forehand, so looks like he's going to select his backhand shot here. All right, Grant Kelley, second shot, hole 3. And it just made it through the branches. Little turnover backhand.
Yeah,
but he's going to have some work to do from there.
Yeah, he got every bit of distance he needed. He just turned it over just a little bit, but he's up there. You know, he's probably pinned high and just right. So it's
that was a good, clean approach.
Yeah, absolutely. Good shot to get to that low ceiling and just, like I said, he just turned it over a little more than he would have probably wanted, but no harm, no foul there.
Yeah, he can even run it if he needs to.
Yeah. And as you can see, Dustin got every bit of this disc here. What a great drive, but as expected, he's right here in the ditch, which is gonna really limit his run up and his footing with the ditch here.
Yeah, he's gonna have some work to do, but you know, I would love to be in his position, because if he parks this, he's likely gonna win this hole. So Dustin Nelson now with his second shot, hole 3. And it's a clean release. Will it break left for him? It does, but the tall grass stops it, and he's probably 35 feet out from the basket.
John, we don't often see people throw putters from their drive on this hole. You know, like when I said earlier that it was a 1,000-foot hike, I wasn't exaggerating, people.
Yeah, he
and if you
absolutely crushed that shot.
Absolutely, you know, Big Arm City. If anybody would like to challenge him, go ahead and just tag yourself in this video, and we can have a distance competition. We will get the cameras ready. We'll have the film crew ready, and I will let Dustin know. We are going to have a distance competition. He's calling out everybody of Muletown and surrounding counties.
I know one guy that would be interested in that.
I believe so. I know.
It starts with an S, ends with an S, but we'll see. All right, Grant Kelley now with his third shot, hole 3. It's up. It had the distance. And we've seen these Kelley boys, both Grant and Ben, make putts.
I'll tell you
like
what,
it's nobody's
they don't
business.
They don't leave them short and low. That's for sure.
All right, Dustin Nelson now with his shot and a chance to take hole 3. Dustin Nelson in with a 3-on-3. He's now 1 up. We'll see everyone at hole 4 in just a minute. All right, we're back. Hole 4, par 4. Nelson's one up. He has the tee. And it's a laser right down the middle. Might have a little bit too much distance, but he gets a nice skip off the tree back into the fairway. All right, Kelley now with his tee shot. And Grant Kelley with a forehand drive, and it's a little low, and looks like it stopped about halfway to the dog leg, Darius.
Yeah, he's definitely short. Now this is where some options come up, John. You know, some of these guys, there's a gap over the top from about where he is, you know. But we've seen this hole take some people's lunches, that's for sure. You know?
Clint Wright's one of those players that will almost always take the route over the trees and into the woods.
And
I've
honestly,
never seen Grant Kelley do that.
I haven't, you know, and just back to my previous point, Clint's probably one of those guys that will accept Dustin Nelson's challenge for a distance competition.
Maybe we'll set that up right after this match.
Both people are here. They're both here.
All right, Grant Kelley now with his second shot, hole 4. Just navigates smoothly around the bend with a touch forehand.
Absolutely perfect.
And he's safe near Falcor around the corner.
Absolutely, you know, right in the middle of the fairway. He's going to set him up with a great shot to get to the basket.
All right, so Dustin Nelson now getting to reap the fruits of his incredible drive. He's going to have a straight shot to the basket. He's even set up on the left side of the fairway. That's even better.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to have a great look at it.
See if we can get a good line here. And Nelson now with his second shot.
On the ground.
Hole 4.
Probably has Corona.
And it slipped out early.
What a terrible shot that was. My goodness, he's played so well up until this point. Now, on a more serious note, there was a really loud scream from behind him. I don't know if it was the gallery, but it was loud. It obviously distracted him.
Yeah, security's promptly escorting them off the premises. All right, Kelley now with his third shot, hole 4.
Yeah.
And it looked like he threw a putter there maybe, and it almost went
goodness.
in. It hit a small guard tree.
Yeah, there's a guy by the name of Bethel Barrett. I've asked him to cut that tree down multiple times, and he refuses.
Well, Bethel's tree just robbed.
We're gonna assign that as Bethel's tree. That was going in if it wasn't for Bethel's tree.
All right, Nelson now with his third shot. And smooth forehand approach, turned over a little bit, did not come back right in time. So he's gonna have a tough look for his fourth shot, but not impossible by any means.
Here's our pay for today.
And looks like somebody lost some change here on the hole
If you can
4
tell me
fairway.
exactly how much it is, we will return it to you with no transfer fees.
Somebody lost their change. Okay, so I think it's hard to tell whether Grant Kelley is out or Dustin Nelson's out.
I believe Grant may be a step out, but
Okay, Dustin Nelson now with his fourth shot, hole 4. Through the branches and dead center. He's in with a 4. So pressure's on Grant Kelley now. He has to make this to push the hole.
Yeah, no, that was a really good putt from that position he was in.
Mr. Grant Kelley's going to have to navigate around some downed trees. And he's reassessing his lines here. Also has foliage that's all around his back and other things. But here he goes. Fourth shot up, just nicks the right top side of the cage.
Yeah, he knew what he had to do, and he definitely gave it a good run there.
So Dustin Nelson wins hole 4 with a 4. He's now 2 up. We'll see everybody at hole 5 in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we're back, hole 5, 240-foot par 3. Nelson's 2 up, he has the tee. And another clean release off his drive, and it's safely near the basket.
Yeah, he didn't need the tree kick he got last time. This one was just pure.
All right, Kelley with his drive, a nice forehand. And it looked like it was skipping pretty hard right there,
Yeah.
but I think he'll be in great shape.
Yeah, no, he had a really good line on it. Looks like he threw a faster speed disc, which is naturally going to get more reaction on the back end, but both players with really good drives there off the tee.
Yeah, it's just going to be another putting challenge, like the last hole was.
Yeah, no, we've seen it on a couple holes now. You know, going back to hole 1 where both players cashed in. So
That's right. Still do not have an eye on either of their discs.
not quite.
I think Dustin Nelson, it looked like he threw a putter maybe.
Yeah, he definitely wanted a putter there.
Wow, he is parked. He's within 10, 15 feet of the basket.
Yeah,
Maybe 20.
Yeah, and
But makeable range for Dustin Nelson.
it looks like Grant is even closer.
All right, so it looks like Dustin Nelson is out. So he'll take his attempt at a 2 first.
Nope, it's attached.
Here's Nelson with his second shot, hole 5. And he nosed it down.
He called it himself. Didn't have to say it. He absolutely draked it.
All right, so Grant Kelley now, opportunity to get a hole back here. And he does just that. Grant Kelley with a 2 on 5. He takes hole 5. Dustin Nelson is now 1. All right, we're back hole 6, 355 foot par 3. Kelley has the tee. Nelson's 1 up. Grant Kelley with a smooth backhand, and I think that tall grass helped keep him within about 35 feet of the basket.
Yeah, release a little lower than what he would have wanted, but.
All right, Nelson now, hole 6. He's taking it out a little farther to the right. He's already had 1 ace in this tournament, and he parked it right into the basket.
I don't know, John. That shot looked kind of mediocre, if you ask me.
I agree.
Well,
I've seen better out of him, you know.
I mean, I've seen him hit an ace, but short of that, I mean, I don't think you can do much more.
I want to see where I'm at first. 'Cause
I don't know. I think he might have been a little long. He might have a not so easy putt back.
I say make your decision without looking at where I'm at.
As you can see, he's really coaching Grant up here, making sure Grant makes the best decision.
Yeah, Grant Kelley definitely a little farther out.
And you know,
it's not going to be impossible for him.
No, it gets a little tricky here with Grant's putt though, because if he runs it, he could. If he airballed it, honestly, he could end up 40 or 50 long. And it could be one of those situations where, you know, even if Dustin only has a 10-footer and he, God forbid, misses it, you know, Grant's going to have a really bad comeback putt. So.
All right, so here's Grant Kelley now with his second shot, hole 6. Has the distance, but maybe just a slight bit low, so he'll have a tap in.
It looks like Dustin's going to be looking at about a 10-footer, maybe, is what I'm saying. So
yeah, it was just a little past the basket.
Right. You know, and it runs in a situation where Grant didn't run at full speed, and you know we've seen better players miss from shorter distance. So.
All right, so Dustin Nelson now with his second shot, chance to take hole 6 in this match. And he does just that. Dustin Nelson now 2 up, heading to hole 7. We'll have you there live in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we're back hole 7. We're gonna have the catch cam here down at the basket. Nelson has the tee, he's 2 up. And it looks like it went just on the left side of the fairway. And he's gonna have about 40 feet to the basket. Grant Kelley now with his tee shot, hole 7. And his is cleanly up, but hits that tall clover and looks like, let's see if we can get a view on his actual disc here. I think he's going to have a straddle look. Yeah, so there's Grant Kelley's disc. You can see he will have a legitimate look at the basket. Dustin Nelson, on the other hand, is going to be slightly in the rough, so just on the fringes here. And it's going to be a little more difficult for him to try to get in. So Nelson is now approaching his disc and setting up for his second shot, hole 7. All right, so Nelson with a good attempt. It'll be a drop in for 3. Grant Kelley now opportunity to take hole 7 with a 2. Wow, it just hit the left side of the chains and kicked out. That was a really tough break there for Grant Kelley. So both Dustin Nelson and Grant Kelley will tap their discs in for a 3. Hole 7's a push. Dustin Nelson's still 2 up. Take you to hole 8 in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. Hole 8. Dustin Nelson has the tee. He is 2 up. All right, we saw him ace this hole not long ago. Not going to ace it this time, but it's still a great tee shot.
Yep, definitely. Nice way to truss his disc over the road.
All right, Grant Kelley also going with a backhand shot off the tee, and that was a laser. Crashed just short, it looked like, of the basket, but it was right on line.
Yeah,
it had a little more distance.
Don't know what he threw, but it was definitely stable and definitely worked out in his favor there. He's within 10 feet for sure. And although Dustin doesn't have a much further putt, I mean, it's going to put some pressure back on him, as Grant tries to keep the score close as we're heading into the last few holes of this front 9.
Yeah, and you just got to hang in there. Just try to hang on for the ride and
yeah, no, absolutely, and it's
hit the accelerator when you can.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll say with Grant going down early in the match, and he's really just kept his composure and just been having a good time. He's been playing, not letting it get to him, and as you can see, he's continuing to throw good shots. So
yeah, he's within 5 feet of the hole 8 basket. Nelson also with an excellent drive. He just has about 10 feet back. So Nelson now for the short second shot toward the basket. It's in. So Nelson safely out with a 2. Grant Kelley walks up to his disc and taps it in for 2. Hole 8 is a push. Nelson's 2 up through the front 9. 2 up heading into 9. We'll see everyone at hole 9 in just a minute. right, we're back hole 9. Nelson is 2 up. He has the tee. A powerful backhand drive.
Oh my
It was low, but you saw just how far that skipped. It had a lot of zip on it, Darius.
Yeah, he's definitely got some luck on his side today.
All right, Kelley now with his tee shot, hole 9. And he had a little more height on that one. Will it make it around the trees? No.
Does
Hits the
not.
tree, but skips back left to the center of the fairway. So he at least had that going for him. He could run it from there if he wants to.
Yeah, it's uphill. I mean, I expect him to give it a full run. I mean, from where he's putting, the basket's still, it's elevated a solid 15 feet above him. So I expect him to give it a good bid, because you don't have to worry about your disc going too far past it.
The one threat you have approaching that basket, though, is the rollaway.
Yeah,
it's always
it's definitely a thought. However, I it's one of those where you got to run it. I feel like no.
Yeah, Dustin Nelson is going to have more than likely a legitimate shot.
Wow, what a heartbreak for Clint Wright on hole 10. If you guys aren't watching that coverage, you might want to tune in. He just threw an absolute smash on hole 10 that, well, watch it and I'll tell you, and you'll find out what happens.
All right, so looks like Grant Kelley is out. So he will go first with his second shot, hole 9. And he gave it a run, and it's in. Great 2 there by Grant Kelley.
John, I mean, I'm no psychic, but I called it. I don't know Grant's play that well, but I knew he was going to give it every bit of it.
All right, so here is Dustin Nelson now with his second shot, hole 9, to try to stay 2 up. And it's low. So Grant Kelley takes hole 9 with a 2. Dustin Nelson 1 up through the front 9. Stay tuned. We'll be at hole 10 in just a minute. All right, we are back. Hole 10, par 4. Grant Kelley has the tee. And he's going to try to follow Clint Wright's lead and go with a roller. But I did not see where that ended up, Darius.
I didn't.
It rolled out. It's right on the other side of the par 3 line.
That's all right.
Okay, so sounds like Grant Kelley is happy with his shot. Nelson now tee shot, hole 10. Ooh, it's low and crashes out well short of the opening tree line.
Yeah, no, he tried to replicate his shot there from last round, and just a little low. But
I've never been there before.
It's gonna, he's at least gonna have some gaps to go through.
yeah, definitely.
Better there than right up against the tree, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna have a line, for sure.
If
So,
you're gonna drake it, you want to be out in the open.
I believe he's looking up. There is a line up over the top. I think Dustin is lining that up. You know, with someone with a cannon like his, you know, we would expect nothing less than for him to go over the top with it.
You can see the beautiful blue skies, and he's going to try to reach for the clouds here. All right, here's Dustin Cloud Killer Nelson, second shot. He keeps it low through the narrow gap, slight turnover, breaking back out left, cleanly in the fairway. Wow, what a shot, Darius.
Yeah, I mean, why would you go over the top when you could just go through the skinniest gap out here on this hole, you know? There's no point going over the top if you can hit gaps like that, you know, John?
Yeah, I mean, that was a clutch shot.
He called it, you know, he said skinny gap, and he hit it, so, you know, that's why he's here, you know, that's why we are watching him play today.
I mean, if we hadn't seen him play before, you'd almost think that tee shot was on purpose.
Maybe it was,
Some
John.
target golf.
Maybe that was just his strategy to get into Grant's head, you know, make Grant, you know, feel like he had a good shot, and then he just playing that cat and mouse game that, you know, one of our club members is always talking about.
All right, so I think Dustin Nelson is out. We appear to be. However, Grant Kelley is taking off his bag. So yeah, Grant Kelley is now up. He had a great tee shot.
That, you know, you can't ask for too much better.
All right, here he is, second shot, hole 10. And just a casual forehand flick right under the basket. He's going to have a drop in for a 3, Darius. Wow.
Yeah, you know, when you got that kind of approach game, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter where your drive lands. That was such a solid shot there. You know, he looked very confident stepping up to that shot.
So Nelson has to make this, or Kelley's going to pull this match all square. So Nelson, with his best attempt at the basket, hits a tree, but it plinkos back and rolls a good 30 feet backwards from the basket.
Yeah, not what he wanted, but on the flip side, a very great shot there from Grant. You know, you can't take it away from him. You know, all he has to do is, you know, not hit his head on the basket when he picks his disc up.
All right, Kelley approaching his disc now.
No, not this one.
Okay, so Grant Kelley drops in, solid 3 on 10. He takes hole 10. We're now all square through 10. We'll see everyone at hole 11 in a minute. Stay tuned for this exciting match. All right, we're back hole 11, and competitors are waiting. We have one match, the other semifinal match, just ahead of us on hole 12 between Clint Wright and Ben Kelley. And there sounds like we're hearing reports that that match is also relatively close.
Yeah. I believe they are really competing over there. You know, we have the honor of seeing a few of their shots in between holes here, and obviously we got to watch both competitors tee off there on hole 11, and you know, it looks like that's another good match.
Yeah, so there you can see him over there, Clint Wright, Ben Kelley, the brother of Grant Kelley. So there is a chance that we could have Grant and Ben Kelley both in the final.
Just a noticeable difference looking at them. There's a bit of a size difference between those two competitors over there, you know.
All right, here's Grant Kelley, tee shot, hole 11. We're all square. And it's a little low, but he'll be in good shape. It kicked hard left once it hit the ground.
Yeah, he had a perfect line on that disc, just a little low.
All right, Nelson now, tee shot, hole 11. And he went with his signature powerful backhand, and he's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, he had the right disc, just looks like he weak-armed it a little bit there, and it's
Weak-armed it, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty
right.
that was pretty weak for him, you know. Now I will say, like, you know, we've seen Grant throw a couple drives low here today that have really put him in a tough situation. You know, that his disc looked to be on a perfect angle, and honestly, the perfect disc selection just low. And you know, that's a couple times we've seen that here today. So, you know, we'll see if it comes back to get him, or if he can get his composure back.
Yeah. He's been able to hang around.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's
mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's what's been so impressive watching him play here today.
That shows just how good his game is.
I'll tell you, he's solid. You know, and it's these shots just like this, these up shots, that he's really been excelling at.
Okay, so Grant Kelley now with his second shot, hole 11. And he went with a putter approach, but it hits a tree on the left side. So he's going to be probably 20 feet from the basket, and likely he's going to have to straddle from there.
Yeah,
or be in the middle of that brush.
Yeah, it's gonna be a less than routine.
All right, so Nelson just found his disc. Looks like it kicked down into the sinkhole depression here, the filled sinkhole. And I think Grant Kelley is out, so he's going to attempt his shot first. So here's Grant Kelley with his third shot, hole 11. And cleanly in. Wow, right side change, strong side and in.
That is why he is here, people. Putts like that.
Well outside circle one. All right, Nelson now with his second shot, hole 11. It's up just a little right, and he'll just have a short toss back to the basket to take a 3 on 11 and push this hole, Darius.
Yeah, you know, and it just goes back to those are what you got to do, you know, in this competition. You know, it really, it's almost demoralizing when your competitor drains a 50-footer, and there's nothing you can do about it.
All right, both competitors with a 3 on 11. It's a push. We're all square, heading to 12. We'll see you there in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we are back.
Wait, did y'all see that
hole
car
12,
almost? Oh, sorry.
par 3. All square, Kelley with the tee. And he selected a forehand, executed it very well, but it did hit a tree there on the left side, so he's going to be short of the basket.
He put a really good line on that disc, and just there's one tree late in the fairway that he just barely caught.
All right, Nelson now tee shot hole 12.
As you can see, we do have a little traffic here at the park today.
And Nelson knows he has a rocket arm, so he didn't want to hit that car. And he also hits a tree, so they're both going to be well over 50 feet out from the basket. They can run it. We've seen Grant Kelley make putts from that lie before.
We've seen Dustin make some big putts as well. You know, this is the point in the match where, you know, we expect to see a game changer. You know, but both these competitors have been playing solid neck and neck, and this is a prime example of that. They both have similar lies here on this fairway. So let's see if anyone can execute anything big here.
Yeah, and you know, to go for it here, you are taking a risk. If you hit one of those trees, you're likely rolling.
Yeah, that is true.
Much worse position.
And now, a lot like hole 9, you know, it is an uphill kind of putt. However, you have the road behind it, so you cannot airball.
All right, so Kelley's out. He's going first with his second shot, hole 12. And Grant Kelley got a favorable kick off the tree, so he'll have a tap in for his third shot. Dustin Nelson now with his second shot, hole 12. It's up, also hits that same tree, kicks to almost the exact
same
position.
favorable kick, and you know, there we go, both players right there within tap-in range.
This is a match that has truly been all square these last few holes.
Both competitors have been neck and neck the whole way.
All right, Nelson now for 3. Safely in.
No need to take the bag off.
Grant Kelley also in. So hole
No need
12
to
is a
take the bag
push.
off.
We're all square through 12. We'll see everyone on hole 13 in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. Hole 13 matches all square. Grant Kelley with the tee. And a powerful backhand turnover that turned right into the tree, kicked hard left into the roughed areas.
Yeah, no, that shot was looking really good.
So I think you'll have a good angle for that second approach shot from there.
Yeah, should be an open shot.
Luckily, he cleared that
second
tree line on the left side of the fairway. That's what the game changer is on this hole. All right, Nelson now with his tee shot, hole 13. And looked like he did not turn it over quite as much as he wanted to, but it stayed in the fairway.
Yeah.
So he's also going to have a long approach shot for his second on 13.
Dustin also got a tree kick. His a little more favorable. He squared the tree, so it kicked straight back and straight down. So he's going to also have another clear approach shot on his second. Neither player landed as far up the fairway as they wanted, but both players have good lies from where they are. So
yeah, this once again we're seeing this hole playing out pretty evenly between the two of them.
Yeah.
What a great match we have here. All four of these competitors deserving of the honor of being in the local semifinals. So you can see Clint Wright, Ben Kelley over there on 14. But back to our match, Nelson now second shot, hole 13. Ooh, he hits another tree. He's gonna have a lot of work to do from there, Darius.
yeah, you know, I'm not sure what, you know, he definitely had some trees there to navigate, but not sure what exactly went wrong.
Grant Kelley with a prime opportunity here to take a critical hole up in this match. So Grant Kelley now second shot, hole 13. And he has it parked within 5. Nelson has to make this shot to push the hole. And he gave it everything he had, but went just a little left.
Yeah, looks like the disc may have just come out just a little early, which may have been due to that tree he was trying to straddle around there, but he definitely gave it probably about the best run he could from that position.
All right, so Grant Kelley now, opportunity to take a late lead. And I believe his first lead of this match, if I'm not mistaken, Darius.
Yes, that is correct. That would be his first lead of the match.
Granted, he has to make it first, but it would take a real catastrophe for it to not go in from where he's lying. So Nelson in with a 4. Grant Kelley with his third shot to take this hole. He does just that. Grant Kelley now 1 up. We'll see everyone at hole 14 in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we are back, hole 14. Grant Kelley is 1 up. He has the tee. And he's going with a roller attempt here. Hits the ground at a nice 40-degree angle, and it's rolling left side, and it looks like it just cut back right before the tree line. So great drive there by Grant Kelley. He's going to have a clean approach into the basket on his second shot. All right, Dustin Nelson now tee shot, hole 14. And Nelson just hits the grass off the tee. It lifts up high into the tree, and
Yeah, we got this weird patch of brush here directly off the tee, and it really gets in. I think it gets in the head more than anything. But he did nip that, and I don't know how much effect it had on the disc, but it definitely,
I think
the disc skied.
at a golf course you'd have pampas grass. That's not quite pampas grass. It's more of a natural disc golf version of pampas.
Yeah,
Adds a little,
but I would say it's
variety to the
equivalent.
tee shot.
Yeah, I would agree.
You don't want to hit it with a low drive off the tee.
Absolutely, and as you saw, that's exactly what happened there. And
That could be another one of those Bethel things, right?
yeah, we, as much work as Bethel does, we can't keep adding too much to him, but
They have those greenkeepers revenge things at the golf courses. Maybe that's what Bethel's been doing out here at Woodland.
yeah, something like that, And
Well, he got Nelson there. So, all right, Nelson now with his second shot, hole 14. Oh no!
oh my goodness.
Right at the tree, and it kicks hard left
Yeah,
past the tree line on the left.
he had every bit of the power on that disc, and just the one tree that if he would have missed that shot would have been something special. He had tons of power on that shot.
This is going to be a real test of his mettle here, Darius, because we're getting to the final few holes of this match.
Yeah.
There's a good chance Grant Kelley might go 2 up here.
You nailed it, and
He's
not
got to move
not just Grant being 2 up, but currently Grant 1 up, and we have not seen Dustin trail very much in this competition up to this point.
I'm not sure he really has at all.
I believe he
Maybe
may
a
have.
little bit?
Yeah, I believe he may have been down 1 hole early in his previous match, but that's about all we've seen. So, and it was a very short-lived situation.
Here's Nelson's third shot, hole 14. And he had the power, but it's going to break left.
Yeah, the
leave
disc
him
just
with some
stabled
wood
up there at the end, and that's the problem here on this hole is the disc stables up and it pulls you back down the hill there, and really pulls you away from the basket.
So we're getting a great clinic here, and just the roller coaster ride that match play can be. Nelson up by quite a few. Now he's looking at potentially being down if Grant Kelley can execute these next few shots.
I believe Grant Kelley just found a 2-foot deep hole to stand in.
All right, Kelley now with his second shot. With the run up out of the hole and just behind his disc, he keeps it right on line.
I've never, in all my years of broadcasting, John, I have never seen someone throw out of a 2-foot hole with such a majestic run up.
There's the hole Grant Kelley just began his run up out of. You can see just how deep it was here. So he stepped up out of here and ran up to the disc and kept it dead on line and within 40 feet of the basket. Great shot there by Grant Kelley. That could be...
After measuring it, John, it was approximately 28 inches deep. That is by far the deepest hole we have found out here at Woodland thus far. So not only the best shot out of a hole, but a hole that is 28 inches deep. I repeat, guys, if you don't have a tape measure, you might want to get one and just realize how much 28 inches really is.
Grant Kelley demonstrating his athleticism there.
That's
Jump step.
Absolutely. If he can
like baseball and
yeah, if he can step out of 28 inches, imagine what his vertical is. My goodness.
All right, Dustin Nelson now with his fourth shot, hole 14, and really he needs to make this.
Yeah, I expect to see him get pretty aggressive here.
All right, it's going to be a tough one to make, but we've seen some shots go in from situations like this before. So Kelley now with his fourth shot hits another tree.
Yeah, just not very favorable lie for being so far underneath the basket. He had to throw it up to get there.
right, so Grant Kelley with his third shot. He just lays this up and taps in. He will take a commanding lead of 2 late in this match.
Yeah, you know, and as you can see, Grant, he's knowing the situation he's in, being real smart.
Dustin Nelson, 5th shot in. Grant Kelley with his 4th shot to take hole 14. He does just that. Grant Kelley now 2 up through 14. We'll be at hole 15 in just a minute for an exciting finish to this match. Stay tuned. Just play.
No, don't play.
All right, we're back hole 15. Grant Kelley 2 up, he has the tee. It's going down the left side of the fairway, hits a tree. Tough break there for Grant Kelley. Nelson now with his tee shot. And it's a clean release, just a slight flex, but it hits a tree and it rolls even closer to the basket. And we just saw a rebound there, Darius, after that hole 14 by Dustin Nelson.
Yeah, John, this is the time to make your move. You know, you're 2 down. It's getting late in the match, and you know it just shows us. You know why Dustin's at this point. You know it's easy for you to lose your composure after going 2 down so late in the match with only 4 holes remaining, but he did just that. You know.
All right, Grant Kelley now with his 2nd shot, hole 15. And a very aggressive line, but just a little right. So Nelson now opportunity to get one back.
Yeah.
And keep this match alive.
You know, and that's going to be big for his momentum, and his mindset, just being able to get one back here, get his head refocused, knowing that he has 3 holes and he's just one point away. So
okay, so Grant Kelley now 3rd shot. It's in. Dustin Nelson 2nd shot to take hole 15. He does just that, and Grant Kelley now 1 up through 15. We'll be at hole 16 in just a minute. Stay tuned. We're back, hole 16. Grant Kelley 1 up, Nelson has the tee.
it's working.
And a smooth backhand drive. Just cutting left back to the fairway, hits the tall clover grass and crashes about 50 feet out. Grant Kelley now tee shot, hole 16. Wow, you heard him there right after he threw it, Darius. He said nope.
Yeah, he definitely released it just a little more early than what he would have wanted, but he should still be in an okay position to get up and down for his par here. He may have a few trees on the left side here to contend with, but we'll see as we approach his disc.
Yeah, so tough break off the tee. 2 holes in a row now for Grant Kelley. Now that whole rebound thing we were talking about, it's really shifted over to Kelley now, hadn't it? He's the one that's gonna have to shake some stuff off.
Yeah, definitely. He gained some traction there on the last few holes, winning a point. And
all right, Grant Kelley now second shot. And he went with a nice touch forehand.
Oh no, sit.
And it was trying to roll away. He'll be safely within 25, 30 of the basket.
yeah, playing the forehand there with the slope of the hill, it just, as you can see, he got a lot more reaction there at the end of his disc than what he would have wanted, but he should have a makeable putt there for him. He's been putting pretty solid today.
All right, Dustin Nelson now an opportunity to get this match back to all square with his second shot, hole 16. Can he get it in the chains? Let's wait and see. It's up, just slightly low. So Grant Kelley now with his third shot. Oh, tough break there, Darius, for Grant Kelley.
Misses it just a little low there, the uphill, and here's a big chance here for Dustin. We talked about him keeping his composure, getting his momentum back, and this is going to be a really good mental stroke.
It's that
here.
roller coaster ride you have in match play. What makes it so exciting? As Dustin Nelson takes his second hole in a row, we're now all square with 2 holes remaining. Stay tuned for these final 2. We're heading to hole 17 next. All right, we are back, hole 17. This match is really shaping up to be a classic. Winner of this match moves on to the local finals. It's all square. Nelson has the tee. And a powerful but low backhand.
Yeah, he's going to be safe, but he's probably about 20 feet past the speed limit sign to the right. He's not going to be very happy with that shot. And this is going to be Grant's opportunity to really try to get some momentum here if he can get a good shot off here on the tee.
Grant Kelley with the big high hyzer. Does it have enough power to carry to the basket? Not quite, but he is up on the crest. And he'll be putting from there.
He definitely had the height he wanted. He's going to end up just a little short, but he's going to give himself a pretty good putt there on top of the hill. And as you guys at home can see, we have joined with us Clint Wright and Ben Kelley. They have concluded their match, ended on hole 15 back there. So we have some good, a building gallery here, John.
Yeah, and wow, they're joining at just the right time too.
Yeah,
because this is a great match.
By far the best part of the match. Both players are really settled in, really dialed in, throwing really good shots at this point. Again, like I say, every broadcast it feels like this is why we do it, John. These types of match, getting late, both players really dialed in and just makes for an exciting finish and really exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, I'd say, like we said at the beginning of this match, all 4 of these guys are deserving of being at this point in the event.
Oh, absolutely. We have the best 4 players in this tournament
I think
out
all
here
4 of
today.
them will be competitive in the state bracket, whichever one of them makes it. All right, here's Nelson now, second shot, hole 17. He gave it a run, and he's going to have a little bit of work to do to get back to the basket, but
Yeah, he
definitely in range he can make it.
He gave it enough height. Looks like the disc may have come out just a little early there.
All right, Kelley to take hole 17. It's up, it's in. Grant Kelley, clutch 2. He's 1 up heading to the final hole, and now he's dormy.
The crowd is going wild out here.
All right, we are back, hole 18. Grant Kelley is now 1 up. He has the tee. And he gets it cleanly through the gap, off the tee, and he's safe. Just short of the red tee up there, Darius.
Nice solid forehand there.
Nelson also almost gets through. It kicks up. It does get through.
Yeah,
That's-
he got
that's
to the
really
other
good.
side of the tree line. You know, he definitely knew what was at stake here, and he tried to really get all of that disc and may have just released it just a little right, and obviously caught a tree here. Now, with that being said, he has a big arm here,
Right.
And I would still expect to see him give a good push here up the fairway.
That's exactly what I was going to mention. The fact that he's through that tree line means he is definitely not out of this with that big arm.
Yeah,
he
no,
has.
not at all. Now, again, an issue he will run into is he has an uphill run up here. So it's gonna naturally tend you to get the nose up on the disc.
All right. So the basket's basically dead ahead. Blind shot. Nelson with his second shot, hole 18. He slipped off the tee. It hits the rough on the left side. And I don't know if he's going to be out of that, Darius.
Yeah, that, as we mentioned, the uphill run up with the wet grass, and again, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast that it has been raining the past few days, and all of those factors came into play there with his shot.
So I'd expect to see Grant Kelley just play a nice, smart, conservative shot here. Here he is, second shot, hole 18. He hangs it just to the right of the trees out there. A lot of distance. One of the best shots we've seen all day out of him.
Absolutely textbook. I don't know if it was the presence of Ben Kelley being here that's really elevated his game or what, but I'll tell you what, he's putting on a show for his brother.
He's scared to play me for third, so
Yeah,
Well, remember they had that caddy service they were
Totally stepped on the
advertising in previous match play.
yes, I do recall, Kelley brothers, they have a lot of things going for them, and caddying is definitely one of them. Both players have reached 1,000 rated status in caddying. So if you were looking for a caddy, we will put a link in the description for the number to call for a good solid caddy.
Kelley's caddies. All right, here's Nelson, third shot.
As you can see, he's just on the edge of the tree line.